All right, we are back here at Tapley Court Apartments Garden for another beautiful day. Not so hot, right, everyone? Okay, last couple of days was boiling, but today we've beat the heat. So today's lesson, we're dealing with climate change and gardening and how our backyard gardens can help with climate change. So we've got two new farmers with us today, Agnes Wave and Josh. And then we've got the man, the myth in the house with us today, Bernard. How you doing, Bernard?
I'm alright.
You all right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start with Josh. We're going to have a quick conversation about the importance of gardening and how it can help with climate change. So we just had a quick discussion, Josh, about what gardening can do. And what's one thing that we talked about?
One thing we did mention was low emission, right? And having like little energy in your garden, because it helps a lot with not having too much machinery.
Yes.
In the workplace.
Right.
So, yeah.
So as you can see from our garden, and I'm going to pan over just a little bit, if I can have you two part the waters. All this, and our garden is growing. It looks pretty good, right, everybody?
Yeah.
All this was done by hand. We don't have any machinery. And machinery, when we talk about machinery, what are we talking about, Agnes? What do you think when we talk about machinery?
Like tractors and plows and
Right.
of the sorts.
Exactly. Tractors and plows. And has anyone ever heard of a rototiller? Have you heard of a rototiller, Bernard?
Rototiller, to be honest with you, no.
No? A rototiller does like a tractor. It's just smaller. And that's what most gardeners do. I used to do it. But rototilling will turn soil into sand. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So we don't rototill, right? We do everything by hand. Longer process, but we get better food, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what's another top tip for creating climate change with our garden?
Another thing is also composing, using compost in your garden and your soil to make it more healthier.
Right. And just real quick, we're actually going to do a demonstration on this Thursday. Out of the three of you, who's done composting? Who knows what goes into it?
We've done it.
Okay, no worries.
Kinda did it.
Bernard, you want to talk about it a little bit?
Oh yeah. What goes in? Well, I did a little composting myself, last year.
Okay.
What goes into it is like you can put food, cardboard boxes, etc. To make the compost pile get nice and healthy, so we can put it and use it in our garden for further use.
Okay.
After we let it sit for a while.
Okay. Great. Pass the mic over to Agnes, because I saw Agnes doing the fitty, like she kind of knows.
So I know you can put fruit peels and of the sorts, just any food that like kind of started to go bad, like fruits or vegetables, but not too much, you can put it inside. That's what I know.
That's a lot, and that is correct. And guess what we're going to do on Thursday? We will demonstrate. Who's heard of worm composting out of the three of you? Okay, Josh is shaking his head.
Is that when you put the worms?
Yeah.
You have worms.
Yeah, that's when we're going to use worms.
The process.
Yes. Say that again.
Using the worms helps to speed up the process of the composting.
That's what we want. We want to speed up the process. So we're going to actually put together our own bin on Thursday. Sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
So, Bernard, we talked about low emission, right? No type of machinery that's going to put out CO2. We talked about composting. One more thing that we're going to do again today, we did it last week, but now we see how it really plays a role in climate change. You remember all the mulching we did?
Yeah.
So we get to put the mulch in the bed. Why would we mulch? How does that help with climate change?
No clue.
Say that again?
No clue.
No clue. Would you all go outside with no clothes on? No?
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't? Okay, you wouldn't.
No.
So is it fair to leave our plants uncovered?
No.
No, right. So if we keep plants covered, what does it do for them? And Bernard, we talked a little bit about this as well as Josh. So take a stab at it.
If we keep the plants covered, it has a better chance of growing, and I mean, I guess it'll help the soil grow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only
Yeah.
I know right now.
Yeah.
Those are the two main ones.
That's good. Anyone else want to take a quick stab at it?
Does it protect the soil from other?
Say that again.
Okay. Possibly to protect the soil from other like bugs and creatures trying to get to it.
It protects the soil, but it keeps everything in. Everything we need, it keeps it right in the soil, as well as carbon. And we know carbon comes from the atmosphere, also comes from cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we keep that in the best holder, which is soil, that helps the plants. So yes, it protects the soil. So Josh and Bernard, we're going to demonstrate how mulching works on our tomato plot here. So Agnes, if you can help them out a little bit, I'm going to have you stand this up and hold up this tomato plant. Okay. And Bernard and Josh, if you can just spread our mulch in this bed. And we want to cover it. We want to make it real thick. Can you hold this up first, Josh? This plant. One momento. Okay. And let's spread that around. And get it at the base of the plant. Very good. All right. And there's a couple of things. Now, this is wooded mulch, but could we use leaves, everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can use leaves. What about bigger wood chips?
Bigger wood chips. Yeah.
Yeah. Dried out pine needles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all works the same.
It all works, right? So we're using what we have, but let's just say we had some nice trees, oak leaves, we could do the same thing here. So that was pretty easy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty easy. Okay. So at home, you can do this in your pots. You can do this in your own plots. Really easy. So I think we have done a great job with our top 5 tips. The last tip is for those who are driving, try to walk a little bit more. And if you are gardening at home, try to use your hands a little bit. So we're going to sign off. Any last words, anybody?
Nope.
Nope. Nope.
Bye.
All right, so we will see you Thursday. All right. Have a good one. Everyone wave.